right. I am so excited. We have an incredible evening tonight. It is all about the talent with 9 at Night. I love 9 at Night every Monday night, every weekday night, Monday through Friday. And there's a different topic every night. But this is about talent. Now, the video you just saw to introduce the show was more on the music side. Tonight, it's all about talent you would have never thought of. And it's phenomenal. And that's why I'm glad you're here tonight. I'll tell you, we have guests from Idaho, Montana, and all around, always from 9 at Night. So with that, I'm Christine Campbell. I'm your host. And 9 at Night is always at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it is always fun and has the best people on it. So right now, I'm going to get started with our slides and who we are going to have on today. So excited. So right now we have a good, oh my gosh, this lady is phenomenal. I can't say enough. This lady, I'm going to bring her on in a minute, but I want to tell you a little bit about her. We just met, but she is absolutely amazing. ERIN HAIGHT, she was born and raised in Idaho, and Karen Spencer, as a matter of fact, that is a city, okay? This has been her family business, and I'm going to tell you, it's the Idaho Opal mines. Opal. Who thought there was opals in Idaho? And it's a very distinguished one. So this has been in her family business for longer since she's been alive. It was started by her grandparents and passed down through the generations. And she's been a professional silversmith and jewelry maker for about 25 years. What kind of talent is that? That's absolutely fabulous. And she is also, get this, certified chef. I'm hungry right now, so we're going to talk about some stuff. She's also a nutritionalist and a restaurant manager for about the same time, 25 years. She has 3 degrees in culinary arts from Scottsdale Culinary Institute, which is Le Cordon Bleu. I love that. And has been working cutting stones and silversmithing since she was in high school and learned that from her parents. She's also a parent, a wife, and a small business owner. So with that, let's welcome ERIN HAIGHT. ERIN.
Hello.
There you go. Very good. I'm so glad that you're here. We have a lot that we're going to talk about. But first, I want to really kind of close in on your, no one would think that you do everything from mining to silversmithing to chefing. So let's talk about growing up in that kind of a world.
It is definitely not your average 9-to-5 job, that's for sure. So this, like I said, has been my family business for longer than I have been alive. So this was actually started by my grandparents, then my parents, then myself and my kids. So it is definitely a generational thing. And like I said, it was just something I was kind of born into, and we're just going with it from there.
Well, I love it. And we're going to talk about how we met. And after we learn about you now, you're sitting in your main gift store. Is that what it is?
Yeah, this is our actual business here that we're sitting in. So, I mean, you can see kind of behind me, like some of the things, but unfortunately, I'm not mobile to walk around and look at it. But that's actually our wall of opal behind us.
Oh, wow. That is beautiful. And then you have a beautiful opal you're wearing too.
Yeah, I have a couple of them on tonight. So my mom made one and I made the other. So.
Oh my gosh. I mean, people, you should just be jealous. You're in the middle of all these beautiful gems. I have some slides we're going to put up. You're going to talk a little bit about it. And so let's talk about these beautiful pieces.
Those are actually all off of one piece. They are our opal that is what's called a star opal. So it's something that is like kind of a rarity, I guess you would say. So this would be something that you don't see every day. This is not your average opal. This would be considered kind of like best of the best kind of thing. And my son actually cut those stones.
Oh, beautiful. Man, they're gorgeous. So what size are they in comparison?
They're actually, the smallest one is about the size of the one I am wearing right here. So they're about, the smallest one's about quarter size.
Oh gosh, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. So is your son going to carry on the business?
Actually, I have three of them and they kind of all are in it to win it. So I have one that does a lot of the mining and, just random, like goldsmithing, silversmithing, that kind of stuff as well. I have one that does just the stone cutting, and I have one that cooks because we have a restaurant too.
I love it. I mean, this is what a great way for them to have these trades and to learn that. Let's talk about these pieces. Just gorgeous.
Actually, that's my son's design and my mounting abilities. So, my son, obviously, they're younger kids, they're in their 20s. And my son comes to me and he says, "Hey, we don't have anything that's like an engagement style type of ring or any, would be considered like high-end jewelry." So, the picture that's on the left-hand side of your screen, that is the first ever foray into making kind of like an engagement style line.
Okay.
And that's what those are. The picture that's on the right hand side, that's kind of like the really cool purple pink
Mhm.
color.
That's gorgeous.
That's something that's actually unique to our mine. We're the only place in the world where you get pink opal with color in it. So that is something that's considered rare and unusual, especially in the opal world.
Mhm.
So we are one of the very, very few places in the world that has pink opal on its own. And then we are the only place that has the pink opal with the coloration in it.
And you're known around the world.
Yes.
I mean, it's just absolutely amazing being the only one. I'm just enthralled. I mean, you're only an hour away from where I live. And
Yeah,
I
there are so many people who live an hour, 45 minutes, I mean 15 minutes down the road from us in the little town called Du Bois that have no idea that we even exist. But yet I can go places that are 4 states away or to a separate country and they know exactly who I am.
wow, that is crazy. Let's get back on the rings. Now, to make the ring, is that something you guys mold that yourself, the silver?
Yes, we do like a wax casting process. So you take a jeweler's wax, carve and cast that from there in whatever design you like. So you can make really complicated designs, you can make really simplistic designs, you can make whatever you like. You just get to, trial and error it on the wax first. Once you get the design that you like, you would put it into a casting machine or something called a centrifuge, where it melts the silver or the gold or whatever metal you happen to be working with and
Mhm.
transfers it into the wax, melts out the wax and replaces it with the metal.
Wow, I'm just so impressed with all of this. And to have the only pink with colors opal in the entire world. Now, these pink, are they more expensive than the other regular opals? And I don't know what's a regular opal, they're all special.
Well, opal in itself is kind of graded like any other gemstone. The
Mhm.
size of it, the clarity of it, whether it has any inclusions from the host rock or anything like that in it. What makes a difference in opal is number one, the color pattern, and number two, whether it has like what we consider like a fancy background
Mhm.
color or the body of the stone. So if you see the ones that are on the right hand side there, the body of the stone itself is obviously pink as compared to the ones on the left, which lean to more your traditional white, light colored opals.
Mhm.
So that automatically is giving it more bonus points for price because it is something that is not common. So the more of those things that you meet, size, clarity, color background, that kind of stuff, the more of those qualities that you meet, the higher the price. So yes, the pink ones are going to be a little more on the expensive side as comparative to the rest of the stones, but they can vary just like anything else. I mean, you can have a $5 opal, you can have a $5,000 opal. It just really depends.
Oh, this is wonderful training and learning for this. Let's talk about this beautiful piece.
That's one of my gold pieces. So this there again, we do anything from just a really simplistic, more show off the stone, 4 prong setting, We do gold, we do silver, we do rose gold, we do all sorts of stuff. So we have stuff like this that is just more like simple, because a lot of people, that's kind of the modern trend nowadays. A lot of people want something that just more shows the stone more so than anything.
Oh, and that's absolutely beautiful. Now you actually, you do it all. You
We
make,
try. There again, my son cuts the stones. I do a lot of the setting. I don't have to do as much in the store as I used to do anymore because, I do have people that help out, like my sons and that kind of stuff. So I'm not as pressured to do everything, but I still can if I have to.
oh, I love that. I love that. Now we're going to go to your website real quick. And I think that's going to be really key for people to really get an idea of exactly what you do. Let me get your website here. I had it pulled up. No, I can't find it. It's here. I know it's here. There we go. So let me pull it up. But I'm just in awe. Ever since I've met you, I just, wow, what a way to grow up. So here's your website. Why don't you take us through this and what to find here? Look at these beautiful, beautiful pieces.
A lot of the things that are scrolling by on the slideshow at the very beginning, that is basically the inside of the shop, the outside of the shop, and just some of our random, more custom type silver pieces. All the silver pieces that you saw going by on the scroll there with like the owl and that kind of stuff, the bracelets and stuff like that you see right now. Those are all my silver work. All of the stuff in the case right there that you're looking at, there again, all our own cutting, the style of the setting and that kind of stuff that you're seeing there.
Just gorgeous. And there is the 2022. So, okay, so that's going by. And then your mine is closed down for the year right now. Is that correct?
Yes, actually Monday was our last day for the season because up here, if you could see outside, you could see we actually have about this much snow right now. And it is just coming down faster than, like it is just pouring down snow outside tonight. So we're very seasonal. So usually we run from about the first part of May, end of April, just kind of depends on how much snow we do or don't have, until sometime in October. There again, really depends on how much snow we do or don't have. So Monday was actually our last day for the season. And then during the winter time, if you see across the top of there, it'll say show dates. We do gem and mineral shows. So we will stop being here in the store full time. Then we will head out and you can see our setup there. We head out and we do shows all over the country in Arizona, California, Utah, and then come back up here in the springtime and get ready to open the store again.
That is a huge setup. Wow.
Oh, that's a small one. You should see the big ones.
Oh, and this is just magnificent. No wonder people remember you. So it has Tucson Expo Center, April. Oh, that's in
so that is actually for last year because this is about the time of year when they finalize the actual show dates. So
okay.
About the first part of November, the actual show dates for this coming season will go up on the website. So our first show is going to be in Palm Springs. We'll be in Palm Springs, California, the weekend of November 18th. So it's actually the 18th through the 21st. After that, the weekend right after Thanksgiving, like Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, we set up on Friday in Wickenburg, and then we'll be open there Saturday and Sunday. And then we have a break for December and part of January. And then we will be in Quartzsite, Arizona, the end of January. Tucson is the first part of February. Then we will be back up here for a show in the end of February here in Boise. And then we have one more that's usually the first part of April in Ogden, Utah. And then we open up for the season and do it all again.
Oh, wow. You guys really, you're so amazing. Now look at these large opal pebbles. It says they're a great specimen for healing stones.
A lot of people, especially nowadays, look for crystal healing and that kind of stuff. So opal has its own properties, kind of like any other amethyst, citrine, anything like that. Opal has its own properties. And a lot of people use those when they do like crystal circles or the laying on of stones and that kind of thing. So we try to have something for everybody. Not everybody wants or needs a piece of jewelry. Some people like, you know, the big giant tumbled stones so they can just look at them. Some people actually use them. So it just kind of depends on what you want to do with it when you take it home.
This is just phenomenal. Now, I mean, I can't say, I'm trying to think of other words to say because I keep saying the same thing. Now you have a page that's all about opals. This is that pink with a gold vein.
It is.
Now, is that a specialty called with that gold vein in there?
Actually, the kind of yellow or gold that you see in there is actually a sulfuric deposit because opal is a secondary deposit in the rock. So it is a wherever there was a space for it to fill into. On that piece, you can see kind of like some brown edging around the edge of it. There would
Right.
have actually been just like a hole in the rock, kind of like a geode, where that sat in there, just kind of like a little cup. And when the opal came through as geothermic activity, it would have been like the hot pools over in Yellowstone. So not the shoot up in the air like Old Faithful type of geysers, but more like the still pools that you see that are
Mhm.
the rainbow colored ones. That is what you're looking at right there. You're looking at, you know, the mineralization that it picked up, as well as the sulfuric deposits from that. And that's what gives you the coloration in the opal.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. Now, opals, so they basically, if you want to repeat, if you don't mind, a little bit of how they are made.
So what happened here in this particular area, because all opal is the same chemically, it is all the same silica, gem silica deposit. It's SiO2 is the chemical name of it. But what happened in this particular region was we were probably at one time part of the Yellowstone caldera. So the hot spot itself stays, but the Earth's crust moves across it. So if you look from where we are to, like, say you were to go straight across to Yellowstone, from here to Yellowstone itself is only about a 70-mile straight shot across. Whereas, you know, like a lot of the southern region of Idaho here is a lot of geothermic activity. I mean, you've got like Heisey Hot Springs, Green Valley, Lava Hot Springs. So they think that that was all at one time interconnected. Now
Mhm.
with us, there again in southeastern Idaho, you have a lot of volcanic activity too. So what happened here was there was already a rhyolite and obsidian flow, and the obsidian would be a black color, the rhyolite's that brown color that we were looking at on the outside of that specimen. And what it had was, you know, it was already there existing. And then the opal came through as your geothermic activity, and wherever there was a space for it to fill into, a hole, a gas pocket, a fissure, whatever you want to call it, that's where it did. Now, depending upon what sort of minerals it took up with it when it went and filled up, you know, you get the pink is iron and manganese, the yellow is sulfur, and then to get it to properly cool in the right time and temperature, you get the sparkly colors in there.
Wow, that is so amazing. And I was reading down here that there's opals on Mars.
There is. Well, now officially we can't look at them because, you know, all we've got is the rover. But, you know, they think it is possible based upon the prevalence of the water and the right type of conditions and stuff like that. So unfortunately, not confirmed until we officially get there someday, but they are 99% sure that that is a high likelihood.
That is exciting. And if any of you want to go back and read this over again, how they're made, and just see these gorgeous, gorgeous pieces of work, the website is Spencer Opal Mines. I was trying to read it at spenceropalmines.com in Spencer, Idaho. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place to go. Now, you have people that actually can help dig for opals. Is that correct?
Yes. So what we do is, because we are a commercial mine, we can't have public patrons at the mine because that would be considered like a violation of safety rules. So what we do is we put it in the dump truck and we bring it down here to the store, and you can actually go out. We have a big pile out here on the other side of the parking lot where you can go out and do your own digging. Now, obviously not this time of the year because it's kind of hard to find the white opal in the white snow, but you know, when we're open and the weather is pleasant outside, we are open absolutely for that.
This is absolutely incredible. I'm so impressed. And now we have another post I want to show, because we're going to get into your chefing.
That's actually me and my son. He was learning how to light things on fire on purpose. So that's our kitchen here, and we're making bananas Foster.
Oh, wow, delicious. Let's talk about your interest in cooking and culinary and nutrition.
Well, the nutrition kind of came free with the rest of the stuff by accident. But my family, like I said, has always had this business. And it was always my parents, my grandparents' assumption that you need to have some sort of career or education, because if the place burns down tomorrow, you need to have somewhere to earn an income. So they didn't care if we all came back and worked for the business. And I mean, we as in me, because I'm an only child, but you know, I have kids and that kind of stuff too. So they don't mind that we all do this, or, you know, they want us to be a part of this. Like, they absolutely want us to be a part of the family business, but that's kind of the deal. You need to have some sort of formal education, and then you can come back, because just in case something happens, you know, we're buried in 10 feet of snow tomorrow, you can have something to earn yourself an income. So I had been cooking my entire life with my grandma. She was a fantastic cook. Both of my grandmas actually were. One was an absolute dynamo baker, and the other one just could make something out of nothing, and it was always fabulous. So I thought, hey, I've been cooking anyway, I might as well go to culinary school. That will be my kind of educational background. So went to Scottsdale Culinary. It's now Le Cordon Bleu. So it is a division of the Le Cordon Bleu Institute from New York and Vermont and that kind of thing. And went there a long time ago, like, you know, 25 years ago. And concurrently, you got a degree in restaurant management, classic French training, so light things on fire on purpose, as well as restaurant management. So I have a degree in each one of them. And when I got done with that, we thought, hey, there is nothing in this area, like zero food options, nothing like any of that kind of thing, because the county here is very, very small. I mean, there's probably less than 1,000 people in the whole county. And we already have the rock business existing. So we're like, hey, why don't we put up a little restaurant? So we've been running a restaurant for 25 years as well.
Oh, I love it. Did you get to design it?
Yes. So everything, the whole building is actually my design. So the way the kitchen is set up, the way that the out front is set up, even the way that the bathrooms are set up, I did all of that.
But you did it because you knew how it's supposed to be through your classes and your courses, right?
Exactly. So, and what we did was something that was absolutely the most efficient way possible. So, we actually have, you know, a small dining room here in the restaurant. I'm actually sitting at one of the tables right now. So we have a small dining room here, as well as outdoor seating. We have obviously the rock shop in the background that you can see that's here in the store, as well as on that scroll by, there was a brief video of the inside of the place and the kitchen, everything. Like I said, we try to make it the most efficient, compact, all-in-one that we could.
Well, I'll tell you, Erin, I absolutely loved you being on the show. And well, I'm going to have a podcast just about how we met and about an event I'm going to be participating in. Of course, you are too, in a roundabout way. So I'm saving all that for that podcast. So tonight we're just talking about you, but I can't wait to do that podcast. And I'll definitely let you know it'll be sometime in the near future.
That sounds awesome.
all these secrets and all these wonderful things, but I always end up with the very best people in the world, literally. And you're one of them, Erin. So I sure
thank you
do
very
appreciate
much.
your time.
And, I really was, thankful that you called us, and, it's not every day that somebody contacts you to make something for, a pageant, because I had never even thought of such a thing, but I'm really happy to participate, and I hope you like the piece we made.
Okay, since you said it, I guess I could say a few things. No one knows about anything. I'm keeping it secret. But I did approach Erin because of the fact that I'm representing Idaho in the Miss Senior Idaho USA pageant that is happening, and we're going to nationals, and I need a costume. And I thought, if anybody in Idaho, what should I be a costume and represent? And it was some freak thing that I ended up on your website. It just popped up and I go, Opals, I can be an opal.
Well, it's better than a potato, right?
You got that right. So I have a very shimmering, glamoury gown, and I have the whole showgirl stuff. And then you brought me this gorgeous handmade opal necklace that's going to be the star of the show on this. And it was gorgeous.
You got to tease them a little bit so they'll come and look at the other one then, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's it. Well, the other one is going to be the full blown kind of, how did this all start? And now we're ready to make a difference representing Idaho and just really shine Idaho to the max. And I'll tell you, life action happens after you're 60. That's how I'm going to promote it.
That works.
But anyway, Erin, I appreciate you being on the show. We'll have you back again. And
that is awesome. It was good to be here. And I hope to be on again in the future. It's nice chatting with you always.
Oh, definitely. So you definitely, I got to get over to your kitchen and ask you all these questions I have in cooking. So well, you take care in your travels, but we'll keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a great night.
Definitely. So that's ERIN HAIGHT. And what an incredible world that she's grown up in, around beautiful, gorgeous gems that are the only in the world type gems. So I'm really impressed to learn more about it. Right now, we're going to bring on our friend, Carla Johnson. And Carla is definitely a woman that is a mover and a shaker. She has a talent agency called Creative World Agents Talent. And she has definitely made a fabulous difference helping people get in movies and talk shows, and is definitely doing a great job from Montana. So with that, Carla, welcome.
Thank you, Christine. Appreciate it.
You bet.
I love the Opal guest. Boy, that's amazing. I would like to find out more about that.
Isn't she amazing? Oh my gosh. I am just so excited to go over there personally. Now it's closed, but in the springtime when they open up, I'm definitely gonna go over there. We should make it a group effort to go over there when you
We should. That'd be
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Well, right now I'm gonna bring you up because some slides up, because I want you to kind of discuss your business a little bit, and then you helped me introduce our next guest. But this is Creative World Model and Talent. Let's hear about this wonderful business that you have.
Well, I've been in business since 2002, and I bought the business from another lady who had it established, and it's actually the oldest talent agency in the state. So I always like to say my agency is the matriarch. It was started in 1979, and so I've just met so many wonderful people and have real joy in helping them to get their dreams accomplished. And so yeah, and we're doing auditioning for some movie roles here, and the auditioning all kind of changed too. That's another thing with the COVID. We used to go send people in person, but now people had to get kind of creative and do their own audition tapes, because I guess, you know, learning from the COVID, they decided that that was a better way anyway. So it's actually more, I think, of a challenge, because when people go in and audition, sometimes the person that's the casting director, they'll see their little funny walk or little something quirky about them or something interesting about them that they might not see by an audition tape, because they just see the tape. They don't see the person, like great personality or, you know, some other little thing that could help them get the job. So they have to get real creative. And some of my talent, they do really well with the self audition tapes. I don't even know if I could do that well trying to do an audition tape, but they've gotten really good at it, and I'm really proud of most of them. They've done fabulous with this new learning thing from the COVID experience. So.
It's creativeworldinc.com. Do you put out notices looking for talent for this particular movie? How do you advertise
sometimes I post on my Facebook page. I don't do enough of that, but a lot of times they'll just casting directors will reach out to me, and then what I do is I send it to my people who fit that criteria and ask them, you know, if they want me to submit, if they're not working their other job, or, you know, things like that. See if they're available for the dates that they need them. And if they want to audition, if they do, then I send them what they call the sides, where they can read what they're supposed, their part, their role, and then we submit them to the casting director. So yeah, it's quite a process. And but like I said, since COVID, we really haven't had any open auditions, they call them. So yeah, it's a new way, and I think most people like it that way. But especially in Montana, as we have we're such a large state. So for somebody to drive for an audition could be 8 hours. You know what I mean? It's depending on what part of the state they're driving from. So it's actually, I think, maybe better. and we have road conditions sometimes in, you know, the winter and things like that. So yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, you do such a great job. And every guest that you have helped get into a movie or wherever you've helped them modeling, they have always said that they trust you so very much because you really look out for them. And I think that's the highest compliment anybody can receive.
It is. And I appreciate all of them so much. They're just like I said, children to me, even if they're older like me. I just want to protect them. So
absolutely amazing. Yeah. And I appreciate it. You have introduced me to our next guest, and you met her through a friend. Is there anything you want to mention about her before I introduce her?
Well, I know she's probably an expert in holistic, and I'm always been interested in holistic medicine. And I think nature's way is the best way. And so I know maybe sometimes doctors don't think that, but we all started naturally, like the Bible tells us. So I love it. I love the holistic approach to medicine and health. And and I think she's an expert, and I think she's one of the best. And not only for humans, probably animals as well, which is animals are all part of our lives. So, you know, it's wonderful.
Well, I should appreciate you, Carla. You're a good person and a good friend. So thank you for being up on the show and you continue getting guests on here. Thank you. Right now, I just want to say thanks, Carla.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. I'm going to bring on JUDY Wales GILLUM, and she is a holistic expert, as you heard from Carla, and mostly with animals. I'm so excited to meet you, JUDY. Welcome to our show.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Definitely. I have so many questions. How did you get in? I love that. So how did, and you have a beautiful website. We'll go through that too. But how did you get started into focusing just with the healing as well as with animals?
You know, I was introduced many years ago to a lady who put on some amazing seminars.
Uh-huh.
And she had a product that utilized both the infrared and red lights for healing. It also had a tool with it that was like an O-meter, which would find a short in the body. So it would tell you acupuncturally where you needed to treat with these lights. And I had great success there. And through her seminars, I started learning and got to work with some amazing masters. Dr. Marvin Kane, who they call the father of equine acupuncture.
Oh, wow.
And Dr. Dominic Gigno, who was from France, and he was an equine osteopath. So both of those men spent a lot of time and opened a lot of doors for me. And that's where it started. And then many years later, I met a veterinarian, Dr. Heather Mack, who was really into essential oils. And so I started studying that route also. And then that also led me into meeting a man called Mickey Young, who owns a herbology company called Silver Lining Herbs. So I've been able to utilize all this education and kind of pull it into Judy's way. So for many years, I traveled a lot and worked on a lot of the high-end competition horses. Now, pretty much my expertise is I end up with horses, animals, and people who have kind of come to the end of their rope and not been able to find answers to help them with what's causing them trouble.
Well, and horses, what about your love for horses? How did that happen?
You know, I was raised in a family that had lots of upper end competition rodeo type horses. I've rodeoed my whole life and road cutting horses. And I've traveled throughout the United States and Canada competing.
Wow.
So I've traveled a lot of places, and as people got to know about my education, they would fly me different places to help them at a competition or at a big barn. So I've just had a great opportunity to share my information. I now do a seminar in Las Vegas. In fact, it just completed a few weeks ago, called Holistic Health for Animals. And it's a 3-day clinic, and I try to bring in the best speakers, the best equipment that I can find and that I know of. And it's really an amazing get together. We do a meet and greet every night up in a suite. So we all sit around and visit and talk and share what each one of us know, because each of us have had some amazing experiences, and it's just a really heartwarming situation to get together and share. It is available. You can watch the videos still of the classes, but to be there is where it's really special.
I absolutely love that. Now, I really love the jacket you're wearing in these pictures. Not to sidestep a little bit, but where are you from originally?
You know what? I was raised in Arizona. I'm a third generation Arizona person. My grandfather actually developed a town called Queen Creek, Arizona, where I lived and was raised. And now I live in a town called Whitman, Arizona, which is the Phoenix area. And I also have a property up in Williams, Arizona, which is up by Flagstaff. So we summer up there out of the heat, and then we're down in the valley during this time of the year and just have the greatest weather year round, 2.5 hours apart.
Well, and then I love it. Now with the horses, I love horses. I always wished I had my own horse. I even took barrel racing lessons for a short time because I had to move, just so I could learn how to, the animal knows everything, so they could teach me how run with the animal because I love them so much. What is your favorite type of horse?
Quarter horses,
Okay.
horses that are used, for barrel racing.
Mhm.
And I've done that a lot in my life. I haven't rodeoed for a few years now. I do have a really nice cutting horse, and I'm still competing in that event. But horses have such a gift to connecting us and grounding us. And I've read many articles, and it's funny because I've just read them, a lot of them lately, about how a horse can feel our heartbeat quite a ways away from us.
Oh, wow.
And how when you're together, the horse's heart will synchronize with yours. And I didn't know that, but I find that to be really true, because we have a saying that some people have the smell, and horses will really radiate to them. And then other people, horses, dogs, whatever, people will kind of push away from them. And it has a lot to do with the heartbeat. I'm working with a young girl right now, who is 19 years old and one of the most gifted therapists that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. And she has a smell. When she walks in with an animal, a horse, a dog, whatever, they just radiate to her. And that's such a gift. And when we can slow down and realize how connected we can be, not only to each other, but to our animals, just by slowing down and taking some deep breaths, it's such a gift, and it's so beautiful.
Well, I don't have horses, I have goats.
That's
But
okay. They're nice.
I grew up with Roy Rogers and all of those, and their horses were their best friend. And that's why I thought, I'm going to have my best friend. There are so many horse whisperers. Is that what you're talking about when you have this smell? What regards to being able to reach with a horse to be able to train them because you have that oneness with each other?
I think that people take their talent. Some are horse whisperers, some are trainers, some are therapists, some are caregivers. I think each of us have such gifts, and it just kind of matters which one we decide to manifest and to, try to get to be the very best we can in that field.
I'm just amazed at what you do. Such a talent.
I love it.
Yeah, I bet you do. And it shows. It shows you absolutely love what you do. Now, with that, with you giving back and helping others, I guess those that work with you learn your trade from you, or do you have classes that to learn what you do?
I put that event on every year, and it's a great place to learn. It's a great place to start. Every once in a while, a young person will show up on our doorstep, and my husband and I take them in, and they can go as far as they want. My husband is an amazing horseman, has trained many horses that have been used at the National Finals Rodeo.
Wow.
Trains a lot of those cowboys will come and have him work with them. So a lot of young people come, and they're welcome into our home. And if they have a talent, we try to hone in on and help them expand on it.
Oh, that is excellent. And do you have children, or do you?
No, I didn't have any children, but there's been 18 young people who have come through my husband's and my home and lived with us and learned. And a few of them, we always push education, and always will pay for somebody to go to school. So some of them have gone to school and gotten degrees, and some of them have become very proficient in either my field and or his field.
I love it. You're just such a profound woman with having your
Thank you.
and carrying on, but with my favorite of all animals, the horse. I love it. When somebody is brand new, my goal is my life's not over. I plan to eventually have my horse. And
Well,
Go
The
ahead.
best thing there is to, hopefully you have a good friend that, you know, can really walk you through it and help you. Or you can get with a good trainer or stables where they are good and honest and truthful about helping you. And there are a lot of them out there, but it's kind of like in a lot of fields, there's people that, you know, the money's what they're after and not the betterment for yourself and or the animals.
Mm.
So
I
you need
really-
to do some homework, just like in anything that you're going to step into.
Now, what's next for you? What's your next goal?
Well, I had not shown a cutting horse for 18 years, and I've just started back doing that. And my goal is to show at Fort Worth next April. So I will spend a lot of time practicing and showing and trying to bring my skills up to that level. I will keep doing what I do every day. I mean, my phone and my Facebook Messenger, very seldom do I not have 4 or 5 people question me on, you know, what I think about this, or could I give them a suggestion about that? And I'm an open book. If I know it, I'll share it. And so I spend a lot of time doing that and taking care of my family and the animals that we have here.
Well, I am so impressed. Judy, I'm so glad I got to meet you. You're just
Well,
amazing.
thank you.
And gifted, just gifted with a pure love. And animals can pick that up. I never thought that it would be with the heartbeat.
Yeah, but they say they really connect with your heartbeat, and you know yourself, like when you have a dog on your lap or a cat on your lap, how much more relaxed and how your heartbeat will slow down and it will actually match their heartbeat.
Wow.
And I found that so interesting.
That is definitely interesting. It is a whole new another podcast just to even talk about that, because it shows there's something greater than just the cut and dry stuff. It's within, it's the spirit.
Oh, very much so. Very much so. And our animals are a huge gift to each and every one of us. And as you know, when we lose one, we lose part of our family.
Yeah.
You know, they become so much of us and our livelihood, and they're just a huge blessing. I just love each and every one of them and feel so fortunate that I've had the opportunity to try to help so many. And the last big deal, my cutting horse blew an abscess right underneath his left armpit.
Mhm.
And it was so deep that when I would go to clean it, it would go in deeper than my wrist. And
oh no.
And it was awful, but it wasn't painful and he wasn't crippled. And they're saying that it was a spider bite. I'm not for sure. I don't know what would cause something like that. But anyway, in 5 weeks, we had him back to the trainer and they were riding him.
Is
So
that
it's
through,
pretty
through your healing
well.
ways? That,
And I utilized something that a lot of people wouldn't even think about, but I mixed half apple cider vinegar, the good kind with the mother, and water, and that's how I cleaned it. And then I used kitchen black pepper, and I would just pack that pepper in there, and that's how it got healed. So a lot of people wouldn't even think of that, but a lot of times when we're cleaning wounds and whatever, we use like a betadine or something like that. Well, that has a tendency to make the area very alkaline. And you don't want everything to be acid, but you want it to be a normal pH. And vinegar is really good at creating the healing environment. So nobody thought, excuse me, nobody thought that in 5 weeks I could get that to heal. I mean, they thought it was going to be 3 or 4 months, the vets did. And in 5 weeks, we got it to close up. So that was pretty fun. I also utilized red lights.
Excellent. That's a whole nother podcast. We definitely.
Oh, I've got so many cases I could share, both
Oh.
people and animals.
Well, I have a smaller garden. I've taken some herbs with my goats. I make the goat's milk and soaps and lotions, but and I use essential oils with them, just the little bits that I know. But I do know that that's a whole nother world, just barely expanding on, which you already live and breathe and teach. So
Well,
that's
I'm happy to share. And if you have questions or somebody has questions, you put my website up and I'm pretty easy to track down, and I'll help any way I can. I do only use Young Living essential oils, and I
okay.
do that for many reasons. I've tried many of the other oils, and I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying that, don't use those, but I will say that if you ever do call me and I give you some ideas, it will be only with Young Living essential oils, because that's what I have found after probably about over 45 years now in this field. That's what works the best for me.
And that's wonderful, because that's what you said is individualism. It worked
Right.
best for you, but you have the experience, but it worked. So it just makes sense. So let's, your website is your name. If you want to give your website out, let us know that.
Judy Wales, WALES Gillum, GILLUM.com.
Oh, that's simple as that. Judy Gillum, and we have the website up for some time, so anybody could take a
Sure.
picture.
Yeah,
of
and
it.
I'm on Facebook, and you can instant message me, or I'm pretty
Excellent.
easy to get a hold of.
Well, I just want to make sure, yeah, we're definitely got to be friends on Facebook. That's just how it is. But
Okay.
Judy, just a gift, and we sure appreciate you being here. Thank you so very much.
Thanks for having me. I was very excited to have this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and thank Carla. So we
Yeah.
just got to keep the thanks going around. Excellent. Well, you've had it. We had an incredible show tonight. I cannot believe how fabulous these ladies are. I cannot say enough about the quality, the substance, the principle, the purpose, the drive, and especially the heart. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close out this show. At the end, darn, it passed so fast. Every weekday night, we have a different topic on 9 at Night. Mondays, it's all about those that want to give their speech. You have a live stage to do it on. And that's more with the Toastmasters groups that I'm connected with, but it's for anybody. Tuesday, it's all about royalty. We have women featuring 60 and over in these queens. I'm so excited each week when I get to meet another one. They are phenomenal. It shows life just starts when you're 60 years old. Wednesday night, we're all about the talent. That's where we're at right now with very talented women, powerful women. Thursday night, it's all about the money, the finance, and that's an important thing to do. If you really don't have a game plan, it's good to be on that show. And then Friday is all about the fun. We travel everywhere and it's so much fun. So where is it? 9atnight.com is where you go. And so moving forward, I just want to say thank you. Have an incredible evening. Have an incredible week. We'll see you on the next 9 at Night.